Trump's speech at the RNC was terrible. I can't even believe it. The first part of it was okay, I guess, where he talked about the shooting and stuff, but just his tone at the end was like playing the Republican hits. Immigrants are bad and blah, 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 blah. I thought he had such an opportunity to give so much more of like a broad-minded, showcase what they did with Amber Rose, showcase, like he didn't really talk much about that. I think he touched on it a little bit, but it was a long, rambling speech, and it just was not good. But Tucker had a really good speech, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but there's a couple little jokes he made that I thought were pretty funny. So let's watch a little bit of this.
This is wild. What are you doing?
What do you know? There's a black guy. There's a little more color there than I thought.
Okay. Can I just say, Peter Navarro is back. Welcome to Peter Navarro. Suffering the fate that has happened to so many who are friends with Donald Trump. Thank you for having me. I have
Well, I do have to say, it's funny because Tucker starts with this thing. Let me let him say it, and then
I have been to many conventions. I have never been to a more fun convention or a convention with better vibes. They literally let Navarro out of prison. First of all, thank you. This feels a lot different from what I thought it was going to feel like. I can't hear you, but I know it's something good. So I watched the video of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania about 50 times. I think I was one of about 8 billion people around the world who watched it. And the more I watched it, the more it struck me that everything was different after that moment. Everything. And this convention is different. The nation is different. The world is different. Donald Trump is different. When he stood up after being shot in the face, bloodied, and put his hand up, I thought at that moment, that was a transformation. This was no longer a man.
Even Mark Zuckerberg had to come out and say that was pretty badass. So that says a lot.
Well, I think it was divine intervention. But the effect that it had on Donald Trump, he was no longer just a political party's nominee or a former president or a future president. This was the leader of a nation. And I think there's a difference.
So we're gonna go into some details on the Butler incident later in a Rumble exclusive near the end here. So stay tuned for that.
I've spent most of my life in Washington, where the president is at the top of the pyramid. Everyone wants to be the president. But if you think about it, the presidency comes with great power, obviously. But if you think about it, that is a title that is bestowed by a process of some sort that can be subverted. And
these are the jokes that I want to play, because I'm only going to play the first couple minutes of this.
In the end, it does not confer by itself, as no title does, legitimacy. Just because you call yourself the president doesn't mean that much inherently. I can call my dog the CEO of Hewlett Packard. It doesn't mean she is.
That's a veiled jab at Joe Biden, who, by the way, is out of the race as of this morning.
No, it's true. And you hate to say it, but it is also true, is a fact, that you could take, I don't know, a mannequin, a dead person, and make him president. You could. I'm just saying theoretically possible.
Theoretically.
With enough cheating, that could happen. But being a leader.
What he just said right there to me is the biggest piece of, what's going on in the campaign right now, that the Democrats were actually able to sell people, like he said, a mannequin kind of, and now they were stuck. Now they're kind of not, but that whole thing is just crazy. And the fact that they were able to do that and get away with it is funny too. Anyway, let's watch a little more of this.
Leader is very different. It's not a title. It's organic. You can't name someone a leader. A leader is the bravest man. That's what the leader is. That is true in all human organizations. This is a law of nature. And in that moment, Donald Trump, months before the presidential election, became the leader of this nation. That was the most obvious to me. And I have to say, you know, I think it changed him.
Of course it did. So there was a lot of ado made about the Hulk Hogan speech, you know, and I would argue, look, it was kind of idiocracy level stuff, but by the same token, look at what the Democrats do. I mean, Jack Black, they have Jack Black. They have all kinds of clowns and court jesters at their rallies too, you know? So the Hulk Hogan thing to me, yeah, I think it was kind of funny too. It was like a tongue-in-cheek thing. When you watch the tone of the convention, they definitely were a little bit more playful than I've ever seen the Republicans, largely thanks probably to Trump reshaping the party in his image a little bit more. So I also think, just to close this out, that it's great, in fact, that Tucker Carlson was featured so prominently at this convention, because if you've listened to Tucker recently, he's on the right track. And the fact that he's going to have the ear of this administration. And if you remember, when Trump was president last time, Tucker was one of the few people who was critical of him and things he did. Tucker advocated him not to go to war with Iran. You know, so I think a lot of this is stuff that people kind of missed amid the, you know, the circus of it all. But a lot of good things, I think, in this world, and it's something to watch. So moving on, I would like to cover some stuff from this Trump rally that happened recently. And one of the things, just to kind of continue on what Tucker was just saying, that's interesting about this is, despite being shot at, Trump is still out there doing rallies. That is very brave on a stage. And I believe this one was indoors probably, but he's back on the road doing it, you know, after being shot at and almost losing his life. So you got to respect that to some extent. But he did this rally, and there's a couple different parts of it that I wanted to focus on real quick, just to kind of put a caboose on that last segment about the RNC. In this first piece, I want to show you, he talks about how he has reshaped the Republican Party to be the party of the working class. And just like I said before, you have to listen to Trump directly to really hear what he's saying, because when you listen to him through the filter of other people, it's always distorted. But listen to what he says right here. I thought this was incredibly relevant.
So who would you like to most run against if you're us, if we want to win? Ready? Kamala Harris, crooked Joe Biden. All right. I don't think we have to go too much further. Well, you have a terrible governor here who did a terrible job. Whitman. I'd like to run against her, actually. I'd like to run against her. So she's one of the 20 that I mentioned. She's the one that gave her.
So this is actually more pertinent now that Biden has officially dropped out, because he's talking about who they're going to replace Biden with. And I went a little early on
her husband, full right, title, and interest to everything, but nobody else could do anything but her husband. Her husband was sailing in the middle of your lake, your beautiful lake. He's out there sailing, and everybody else had to be locked up, right? Her husband. No, but things like that are mentioned during a campaign, little things like that. No, she's done a terrible job, but I hope I'd be very happy with her. At this very moment, Democrat Party bosses are frantically trying to overthrow the results of their own party's primaries to dump crooked Joe Biden from the ballot. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
And they just succeeded, didn't they?
And as you're seeing, the Democrat Party is not the party of democracy. They're really the enemies of democracy. The parties of corrupt insiders like Whitmer, special interests, and the failed.
As we saw, the Republican Party is also the party of insiders. There's plenty of backroom deals going on at that convention. So let's not act like we're the good, clean alternative to all the corruption here.
Political class, that's what they are. Under our leadership, the Republican Party is now the party of the people. We're the party of hardworking Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Did you hear that? Every race, religion, color, and creed.
We become a very big party. We become, right, fellas? You know what I'm talking about. I love you guys. We love you guys. No, we become a very big party. We have increased in size. Nobody's ever, honestly, in history, there's never been anything like this movement. And that may be in the history of the world, but let's keep it down to the country for right now, because that's the thing. But there's never been anything like MAGA. When Biden says, we have to stop MAGA, we will stop MAGA. I said, he doesn't know what MAGA stands for. It stands for Make America Great Again. How can you be against that? How can you be against that?
How can you?
And you know, the other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist.
Listen to this. This is where he talks about the establishment Republicans.
I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist at all. Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have. They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right.
Now listen to that. That is, so again, you don't hear Trump say this kind of stuff in the press. You have to go direct to the source. This is him talking about Project 2025, and listen to what he keeps saying.
And they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project. And then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation, and they keep saying, he's a threat to democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week, I took a bullet for democracy. What did I do against democracy?
And now he has this argument. That's a tough argument to beat.
Crazy.
All right, so
Hello, Chris.
Let's jump up.
Here's our great campaign.
I want to show you
Chris,
what there's a lot of talk about Trump and Elon Musk because, of course, we know.
Great state, I will rescue the U.S.
Elon Musk came out and supported Trump after the shooting. And so a lot of my lefty friends are like, wow, Elon Musk is such an epic dipshit. You know, he's giving Trump all this money and Trump's against electric cars. Ha, ha, ha. Well, listen to what Trump has to say about Elon Musk and electric cars right here. This is actually really good. Really good.
This auto industry from obliteration. They're going to obliterate your auto industry.
Last time he said bloodbath, and they ran with it as a violent call to violence. So this time he's using the term obliterate.
And anybody that votes for the head of the United Auto Workers, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's approved all electric cars. And you know, I love Elon Musk. Do we love him? I love him. And I'm constantly talking about electric cars, but I don't mean I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says. And if it's 10% of the market,
I'm totally for them, whatever the market says. So another thing, Trump's against electric cars. Yeah, he speaks bombastically about them. He's trying to be fair-minded. If you're the leader of a country, you know, you kind of have to strike that balance. I'm a big fan of electric cars. I have one myself. So, but this is interesting.
12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay. But you can't have 100% electric cars. And you know, so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call him, he's talking about, I got a new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this. No, it's true. You know, the first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket engine, motor engine, come down landing straight up there, no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. I thought I was seeing things. What is that? And it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then another one comes down, and another one. I guess 4 of them came down, 3 or 4, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that? I've never seen that before. Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to 100 years. But it was Elon. Now, think of that. And I called him, and I've always had a good relationship with him, but I called him and I said, what was that? He said, well, we saved the engines. We saved the engines because it's very expensive to build. So, I mean, it didn't take me long to figure that if you save them, that's good. But who the hell thought you could do that? No wings, no nothing, just like these big, long, massive tubes, and they're landing gently right on the dot. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And you say, how long would it take government to come up with that one? I don't think they ever heard of it. Perhaps they still haven't heard of it. But, you know, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are others. We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people, and he's as smart as you get. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. A month. Not 45 million. Gives me 45 million a month.
So he's got to talk kindly about Elon. Hey, at least he's transparent about that. 45 million a month? Oh my God. If you don't think that's buying influence, I don't know what is.
And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here, how you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them. No, he's a great guy. He really is. But, you know, he's never mentioned to me, why are you hitting the electric cars? Because he understands I'm not hitting it. I think it's incredible. I've had them. I've driven them. They're incredible. But they're not for everybody. Some people have to drive long distances.
True.
And they tend to be more expensive. And, you know, they'll probably be made in China because China has all of that material. Oh, there's the guy that I stood up here. Are you the same guy? The same
I just want
muscles?
to, this is the last thing I'll show you, but this is just another example of Trump being, you know, why people like him. He recognizes this guy and brings him up on stage.
Are you the same guy? Yes? No kidding. It's pretty good memory, right? Unlike somebody else that I happen to be running against. He wouldn't. Come on up here. Get up here. I got to get this guy. This guy was
little veiled joke against Biden.
Central casting. Look at him. Look. Oh, I think he was standing on a box. That was the only thing I said. Come on up here. Don't hurt yourself. Can you get him up? I like this guy. He's a serious union guy, a United Auto Workers. You look at him get over there. It's okay. He does not carry guns. He's not.
Trump is bringing this guy on stage during a rally after he was just shot at.
Hey, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see this guy. I told you we're going to get 85 million of us out there to vote for him. So let's go home from this rally and do our part.
Look at the arms on him. I may have height, but his arms are definitely more powerful, huh? Look at that guy. Now, last time I was here, I saw him, and he was so great, and he was...
So there you go. You watch these rallies first person, and you kind of see, you know, Trump is not quite the devil that they make him out to be. And to close this out, I want to show you this one last piece about a liberal girl who changed her mind. And it's from one of my favorite accounts, Clown World. But in this case, Clown World has nice things to say about liberals. What do you know? Look at Clown World here. This is inspiring. Huge respect to this girl for her bold courage. So let's watch.
9 years ago, this was me. I was 17 years old and I was protesting Donald Trump at a rally. I'm making this video so hopefully you can realize that it's okay to admit that you were wrong. A lot of us fell victim to the media's lies and a lot of us hate.
Sounds like Amber Rose, huh?
To Donald Trump. You could see that I had a very articulate message and logic and reasoning behind my hatred for the man. No, Trump. Trump, bad. I encourage all of you to watch the pinned video on this account, Tim Pool's interview with Donald Trump, where he talks about how he wants to bring peace to the world. I know I want peace.
I've shown that video several times on this stream and I post it on Twitter regularly.
I'm sure that you want peace. I know back then I wanted peace, but I was hoodwinked, tricked, lied to, and deceived by the media. Don't be afraid to let go of your ego and admit that you were wrong. Our country depends on it. Last night, we all saw a strong man stand up after being pew-pewed in the face. Don't be a coward. We cannot grow as a country if everyone is scared to say what they're thinking. And make sure you're actually thinking. Here, I was not thinking. I was believing. You cannot think and believe at the same time.
Very well spoken from a person who came around. And I think that's happening a little more these days. And we'll see. Again, I'm not saying that Trump is the perfect vessel or the answer to everyone's problems, but based on the tone that he's taking right now and the reality of who he is as a person, I don't see a problem with him being reelected. So moving on, we got some funny stuff for you. I'm a big fan of Kill Tony. I've talked about it quite a bit. And if you haven't seen Kill Tony, what are you doing? Go watch it. It's one of the best shows on YouTube, on the YouTubes. And it's basically a stand-up comedy show, for those who don't know, where they pull people's names out of a bucket and sometimes they bomb and they make fun of them and they interview them and they get funny things out of them. Sometimes they're great and they book them on other shows. And they always have guests on the panel. And this last week, they did a show where they had Adam Ray impersonating Joe Biden and Shane Gillis impersonating Donald Trump. And I posted, well, I bookmarked a couple of clips of this for you. And so I just want to share these clips with you because it was hilarious. And you should, of course, go watch the whole thing. But I think that what I was shocked the most about was the job that Adam Ray did, because Shane Gillis is pretty well known as having a really great Trump impression. But Adam Ray as Biden just blew me away because he does the facial expressions so well, and he kind of does the grandpa voice. But anyway, watch this. This is when Tony first brings Biden out to the stage.
The current, truly the real President of the United States of America. This is Joe Biden.
That smile.
You can do better than that. Make some goddamn noise for your president.
Your president who just dropped out of the race this morning.
No, Joe, this way. This is it over here. Joe. Joe, no. Joe, over here. Wow. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
All right, so let's jump up to when they bring
This-
Trump out here.
My fellow Americans, I want to thank you for allowing me to be the first black woman president to run this country. Quick shout out to the moderators in the back for keeping this debate going.
There's no moderators. Joe, you're on Kill Tony.
Huh?
Has anybody told you where you're at tonight?
He like remembers that he should be
Brian
smiling.
Redband. Brian Redband, everybody.
All right, let's jump.
How
into
the
where they
hell
bring
do you
Trump
know
out.
who Brian Redband is?
I follow him on Facebook. Stopped. I love this country and I love what I do. I'm telling you, I ain't going anywhere. No one's taking me down. I'm gonna stay here forever. I'm gonna go for 4 more years. I'm gonna say it right now, Tony. I'm going for 4 more years. I'm going for 4 more years. Say it with me. 4 more years. 4 more years. Say it with me. 4 more years. 4 more years. No one's gonna stop.
Wait, what in the world?
What's that?
It is our responsibility and our duty to confront this danger together. Every step you take down this dark path increases the peril you face.
What in the world is going on here? Wait a second. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God.
Praise due to Kill Tony for not coming after people for sharing their clips, and Red Band. So one of the first things they get into, he starts with the immigration jokes right here at about 19. Yeah, let's just jump into that real quick.
So, President Trump, I believe you know how the show works, right?
Of course I do, Tom. What a great crowd. What an amazing crowd this is. A lot of beautiful women here, great women.
A lot of beautiful women, a lot of great guys too. A lot of great Americans.
So it's going to be President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump for the remainder of the show, it appears. We have an entire lineup and bucket to get through. This is one of those moments we will never forget. Oh, there's the lovely Heidi, everybody.
Oh, hey.
What a great lady. I talked to her backstage, and wonderful woman. The tits are real. Excuse me. A lot of people are saying her tits are fake. They're not fake. I touched them, and great tits, wonderful tits, American tits, and that's the thing that we've lost under this administration. Where are the American tits anymore? 4 years ago, there were American tits. Now there's no American tits. Mexican tits. Mexican tits are streaming up the border, and no one's stopping it. Fentanyl tits. Fentanyl.
Okay.
One shock and you're dead. Can you believe this? This would never...
You see Adam Ray cracking up.
Unimaginable what's happened to this country.
We're fine. Hey, I smelled her tits too. They're great. Everything's great.
So the first comedian comes out and they do, he does his little segment, which isn't very funny. So I'm going to jump up to what they say about him when he finishes. Listen to this.
He died.
Who?
You said
Where's your dad right now?
he died.
From what?
He didn't. No, he's alive. He's good. He's in the city in New York.
He's in New York City?
Yeah, he's in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a wonderful city that is. Great city. Now homeless. This guy's dad. Ruining New York.
There's a lot of fake dead dads right now.
What do you mean by that?
He said his dad died, and he goes, and he's alive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fake dead. Red Band hit me with something.
Okay, Tony, I
It
think
was
it's
okay, according to you.
It was not. It was. Frankly, you should be embarrassed about it. I would. Not good. Not good.
Yeah, this is the first thing we agree on. That was dog shit.
So they're making fun of this guy's set. So then he talks about how he's a bug collector.
Sure.
Hell yeah. All right.
What's your love life like, Matt Sturm?
Listen to this.
It's pretty non-existent.
Last hookup you had, where was that? How long ago was that?
Fucking Connecticut.
Wow.
It was like 5 months ago or something. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
How?
So you got pussy 5 months ago?
You could say that.
For a guy who collects bugs, frankly, that's not bad, honestly. A sad woman in Connecticut fucked the bug guy. And now she's watching this right now. She's at home going, I fucked that guy and he collects bugs in a jar.
When I'm like super special occasions,
Well, like what?
like when I get married.
Fuck, that was sad. All right.
Okay.
He's saving his pants for marriage, and I think that's extremely American.
Who are you saluting, Mr. Biden? You just saluted the whole audience. Okay. Bruce, you say that you're saving these pants for marriage. Do you have a girlfriend?
I got married again.
Oh, you did. You got married again. So you've been married twice?
3.
3 times you got married.
Honestly, that's not that bad.
How many times was Trump married?
Yeah, coming from a guy who likes to watch women change.
Wait, what? Who doesn't want to watch women
I
change?
saw it on the internet. Sorry.
I love to watch them change. Who doesn't? Your wife changed into the afterlife.
Okay. That was a little low. And so the last clip I got here is this one guy is talking about his mom and dad, and Tony asks Trump and Biden to play his mom and dad, and hilarity ensues.
Your parents still together?
No,
Okay. How long have they been separated for?
almost 10 years probably.
So that affected you deeply when you were about 11 years old.
Something like that. Not really too bad.
How did they break the news to you that they were separated?
They just called us out to the back porch one by one and let us know.
Back porch.
It was a nice moment. It wasn't nothing.
Here, I'll
too
be
bad.
your dad. Donna, you be his mom. Let's recreate it.
Get out here, little man.
Come here. We got something to
Me
tell
and
you.
your piece of shit father have something to say.
Yeah, you're not doing it. Remember, what did I tell you as a young boy? You got to do it.
They broke up. They broke up because of you. It turns out. Cannon.
It was all my fault. What did I not do?
I don't know. You're always golfing. If you're gay, just tell us. It's fine.
We've known you're gay. You are gay.
We know you're gay. We saw the way you look at Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
You being gay has shattered this family, frankly.
Broke us apart. We can't eat dinner in the house anymore.
Your father and I are disgusted because you are gay.
Why can't you meet some nice girl that hawk tours all over your cock?
She's obviously voting for me.
That is
What a patriot.
That is very true. There is no doubt about that.
So you were gay and your parents split up. Then what?
Then what happened, Cannon?
And then I lived the rest 10 years of my life. That's all.
Just being gay.
Just being super gay.
That's
What's
fine.
the gayest thing you ever did, Cannon?
Good question, Tony.
So anyway,
You can tell us.
we'll stop there. That's hilarious. Go watch the whole thing. Adam Ray and Shane Gillis do fantastic job as Trump and Biden, and it's very well done.